So here I have ace-2 suited in the big blind. LUFC is playing relatively tight. He also just showed down a 3-bet fold, so I expect his range to be super strong here. Standard there. Okay, here I have jacks in the small blind, so almost certainly not looking to fold this hand at any point. And LUFC raises again. Again, I would expect his range to be pretty strong. I mean, after just 3-bet folding and then opening 2 pots in a row, plus the fact that he's just in early position. That being said, I mean, jacks is just way too good of a hand to fold. I think the best action for me here would be for one of these guys in late position with the big stacks to be 3-betting. Yeah, I mean, I just welcome this with open arms because, I mean, I think the stacks are pretty decent for them to be 3-betting LUFC light. It puts them in an awkward spot with stack sizes, and therefore they're just going to be light more than usual. Slammed Fire, obviously 3-betting more than Jizoin over this sample, but I mean, Jizoin with those stats, 25-17 and 8.3 3-bet, is clearly capable. Hollywood's it a little bit, or maybe it was just multi-tabling or whatever, but yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly the action I want once LUFC raises under the gun. And also given that action, there's some chance that LUFC folds some hand that's a flip, which he normally wouldn't fold to me. Like, I mean, Ace Queen seems like the one hand that he would likely fold to that action, but not fold it if I just shoved. Ace King is pretty close though. I mean, if he has like Ace King offsuit and gets 3-bet by a guy who covers him and then shoved on by me, puts him in a really awkward spot where he just kind of has to either commit his stack or get out of there. And you know, I don't think he's going to fold because he probably has a similar thought on Jizoin's raising range at the end. Forget who LUFC is in real life, but I know he's a tournament regular and a good player. But I mean, it's not impossible, and there's certainly a bigger chance. Plus, I mean, Jizoin's range. I mean, just I'm way ahead of his range, and it's just, even if I get in a flip situation, it's an overlay on the pot. So, yeah, I mean, that's basically what I want to happen there. Here I have 5s, and you got 3-bets by the big blind. He's 3-betting 21%. And here I decided to make a pretty non-standard play and raise. Let's talk about this for a second. First of all, I started the hand with about 100 big blinds even, a little bit less. And yeah, Mr. Barrett is 3-betting 21% of the time right now, and I mean, I think his range is just super wide. This is, I mean, granted, some players defend more often in the big blind. I mean, myself included. I certainly tend to 3-bet a lot more in the small blind than the big blind, and in the big blind just elect to defend, closing the action quite a bit. However, Mr. Barrett is playing 33-33, so it seems like flatting is just not a part of his game unless he just hasn't shown it yet or has multiple gears or whatnot. So, I mean, 21% of hands is a pretty big range, and I mean, since he's 3-betting and never flatting it from the big blind, I mean, against the button is as good a spot as any. Although, I mean, I guess he's probably more likely to 3-bet in position, but still, against the button raise, I think he's still 3-betting very frequently. And yeah, I mean, basically pairs make up. What's the number, like a little bit more than, I think, like 6% of hands or something. So he has plenty of non-pair hands in his range. So basically, I just decided in this spot, it's kind of spot where a raise, I think, is just going to look pretty fishy on my part. Like, I don't think he's going to give me a whole lot of credit for it. And I think I very often have the best hand. Granted, when I don't have the best hand, I'm in very bad shape. But I think this raise is likely to get played back at by air quite a bit. So I think there's a lot of times where he just 3-bet folds and I take the pot. And I think there's some times when he just like slams his stack in with the worst hand also. And then, I mean, he's not dead, but I'm in quite good shape getting the money in. So I decided to just do this, and it might be too loose, but I mean, I think given the reads I had on this guy at the time, I think I'm content with it.